Hey, yo, welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. I am your anime captain, Zane Tai Cho. As always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, the gentlemanly gamer.
Hello, everyone in Radioland. You're an anime captain now, are you? Is this how we're going to start the show every week? Us talking about how much you love anime and how much I don't like it.
I mean, hey.
In my defense, actually, to be fair, that's wrong. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't have enough experience with it. How are you, Zane?
I'm good. I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you? You all right?
I'm all right. Yeah. I'm all right. Yeah. Doing okay. It's been a busy old week. Yeah, It's been wild. I think I'm trying to... You know what? It's been one of those weeks where it's like, there's been so much happening this week, both in work and in private life, that it's kind of been one of those tornadoes of busyness that you don't really remember. Like I can remember doing this podcast with you last week talking about like unbearable weight of massive talent, and then I it's like I blacked out and I've just woken up and it's now talking to you again about CinemaCon this week.
I know, mate. It's been wild. Like I feel like I've been jet setting all week.
Yeah, you've been getting all over the UK, haven't you?
Yes, it's one way of saying it.
That is, for those of you who don't know, in his real life, and don't worry, don't panic, Zane. But Zane's real job is actually, the description is getting it all over the UK.
Wow.
Not getting it as in like that. Oh God, I've made a faux pas. I didn't mean it like that, Zane. Zane's a very happily married man, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean it like that. I mean he's just so popular that, you know, he just spreads his popularity throughout the whole UK. Can you pass me that shovel over there, Zane? I'll just keep going. I'll keep digging.
Yeah, talk about a burial.
I'm either going to get out or I'm going to get to Australia. I'm not sure which. Like, we're digging deeper and deeper. Oh God.
Either way, I guess what you were trying to say. I went to an anime convention in Cardiff. Yes. Which was fun, which was great, and just have been up and down the country, as you said earlier,
getting it all over.
By the way, if you've never listened to this podcast before, we like to talk about movies,
I'm
comics.
So sorry.
Shows.
If you've never listened to this podcast before and this is your first experience with it, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
By the way, this is live on YouTube as well, so if we get taken down, you now know why.
Well, you won't know why because you won't have even heard it. So there you go. So that's the good thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure we'll be fine. Yes, we like to talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff on this show, don't we, Zane?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have you been watching this week? What's been going on as far as like, because obviously if you're traveling, then I'm assuming you've had the old, you know, Palm Pilot up on your hand, and you've been looking at some stuff.
Yes. So because I've had to catch numerous trains and such, it's a great opportunity to catch up on reading. So I don't know if you saw, but there was like a new issue of Spider-Man, which is very controversial at the moment.
Wait, which one is that?
It's I think it's...
Is that the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear a little bit about this. Go ahead, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
So yeah, that's been super controversial. There's also been...
Why?
Okay, spoilers for the latest issue. At the end of the issue, well, throughout the issue, you find out that Peter and MJ are no longer together, but it doesn't give you a reason of why they're not together. And then the last page, you find out MJ has a new partner, a new boyfriend, dare I say. And he opens the door and two children run in calling her mummy. And one of the children is a redhead little girl, kind of maybe playing to the fact that she may be her biological daughter. But again, it's the last page. There's no sort of depth. So, but I don't know if you knew this, but apparently this issue's going up against the death of the Justice League, so it feels like a thing to make sure everyone picks up a copy of Marvel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, isn't there like some symbiote Captain America stuff going on at the moment as well? Did I see that?
There's I don't know. I didn't see that.
I can't remember what was it?
There's a new Captain America run where it's it's Steve and Falcon, Captain America.
No, there was something about Carnage and what was it? I can't remember. Talk amongst yourselves. It's fine.
I don't know if you saw this, but there's apparently the new Green Lantern comic's been really good with John Stewart. He's had like a whole new.
Your favorite? My
favorite,
John Stewart.
Yeah, it's probably between him and Carl Rayner.
Really? You wait? What? Whoa! All right. So I was momentarily distracted by absolute carnage stuff, but like, sorry, you can't go back on that. Your favorite Green Lantern ever is John Stewart. You're obsessed with him.
I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with him.
Absolutely obsessed with him. You've told me many a time on the show how much he's a hero of yours, and you've based your entire life off him.
Yes.
This may or may not be an accurate statement.
Exactly that.
He's confirmed it, folks.
I've always wanted to be John Stewart, Green Lantern,
space hero.
Yeah.
No, it just surprised me because I genuinely thought John Stewart was one of your favorites. So I don't know where I've got that from.
He's one of my favorites, but I wouldn't say like. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I've read a lot of his comics, his solo runs.
The hell did I see? I haven't read much of his solo runs either. This is going to drive me nuts now because Drac posted something about a new comic that he got, and I need to find what it is now. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is possessing me now, Zane. Right at the beginning of the show. I apologize.
It's a shame we don't have like a call-in function, so we could call him into the show and be like, Drac, you're live on Undisputed Nerds.
The only issue with that, and I don't want to dox him in real life, but he's responsible for a very busy restaurant/bar in reality. So if we were to call him in, I think there is a high potential that we get him right in the middle of one of his shifts, which personally I think would be hilarious. But I'm not sure if he would appreciate it that much. It's just a guess, but I think he might be a little bit annoyed by it. Shall I call him? Shall I ring him? No, Drac, what was the name of that book? Yeah. So I reckon, by the way, what you were talking about, going back to that Spider-Man story, I think it's going to be Peter's kids. I think it's going to be revealed that she was pregnant when they broke up, and she didn't tell him, and then she had like twins, and it's like May Parker or whatever, the lady who would go on to become Spider-Woman. I can't. I think they're doing a big old. They're doing the classic Vince Russo era swerve where they're like, "Hey, she's got kids with someone else." Oh, not really. How funny would it be if it would be? Oh man, imagine how good it would be if it was a Ben Reilly situation. It's what is it? Is it Madeline Pryor, the Jean Grey clone? Yeah, it's that, but for the new generation.
Oh no!
Oh yeah! Here we go. Oh dear! Then they go for the ultimate controversy, and MJ dates both of them at the same time. Oh, is it cheating if it's a clone of Peter?
But
you decide.
Ben, I'm pretty sure Ben has a girlfriend called Janine, who's also a redhead.
And she's a clone of MJ. Oh! It's clone craziness, guys. The Jackal's back, and this time he's making relations. Right. Let's move on from this.
Let's get out of this.
Started off the beginning of the show. Sorry, guys. Zane, what are we talking about this week?
This week we're going to break down all the news that came out of CinemaCon.
This has been our worst intro to the show ever, by the way. This has been the worst beginning. I'm so sorry.
But we shall move on.
Yes, CinemaCon. We're going to talk about CinemaCon.
Fantastic. CinemaCon, which I didn't know was a thing until this year.
This is just another one of those things, like it's like fandom, where it's just like, oh, we're not doing Comic-Con anymore now, are we? We're just doing CinemaCon or
Apparently
fandom.
It's been going for 11 years.
What?
Yeah.
What? Where? On Mars? What are you talking about? It's been going for 11 years.
Apparently, this has been going on for 11 years because it's quite an exclusive little club, isn't it, that get to go?
Yeah, we here at Undisputed Nerds are now so big that we've been invited to the exclusive CinemaCon club. You won't find any controversial Will Smith slaps here. It's just news, baby.
Wow.
Right. Anyway, but before we get onto our main topic, we normally have some recurring segments, don't we, Zane?
Oh, yes, we do. Not only do we have tips and bits where GG breaks down all of the latest news, maybe a day or two late.
Yeah. All the latest news of the week that's not CinemaCon.
But we also have the rage against the Cage, right?
What's all the rage with Nicolas Cage?
Oh, that's the one.
It is. Are you ready?
And it was one of those nights. Do you ever have one of those nights where you feel like the mojo was with you and you knew you could just do nothing wrong, that everything was going to go your way?
Why, yes, Nick, I do have those nights. I love them. Wow, the mojo was with me. What is that? Is that when he's talking about having mushrooms with his cat?
No. Apparently, he won like 20,000 in
really?
in like half an hour of a game of roulette.
What did he spend it on? A waxwork figure of himself? All right, so I'm going to have to find some new Nicolas Cage news after this, because this is the last amazing fact that we've had on this fantastic website that has given me bizarre facts about Nicolas Cage. That's right, we've been doing this long enough now, Zane, that I've gone through all the facts. So this is the last one. All right, so I'm going to send you a little image which I would like you to put on screen for those of us watching on YouTube. For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, I will describe it to you through the podcast. So I'll read this headline out. A Japanese corn snack used his likeness without permission.
Oh, no.
In October 2017, Cage aficionados in Japan were delighted to see the actor's face emblazoned on packages of a crunchy corn snack called Deluxe Umanbo Nikolai Stick. While it would be nice to think Cage was compensated for his apparent endorsement of the food item, a representative for the actor told Kotaku that he had not given his permission for his face to appear on the wrapper. This item was intended to promote his film Army of One in a handful of theaters, but no one had asked Cage for his consent. The film's international distributor, Film Nation, apologized for the error. Now, so for those of you who can't see what we're looking at right now, first of all, Zane, how glorious is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's wild.
Secondly, it's to promote the film Army of One, which I can't remember what the plot was, but I'm willing to bet, looking at this picture, it wasn't Nicolas Cage as some kind of weird farmer, which he seems to be as on the front of this corn snack. He looks like if Bob Ross had like aged a lot and changed his hairstyle, and then he's just really happy.
Yeah. It's mesmerizing, isn't it?
It is mesmerizing. It is. It pulls you in.
Yeah.
You like it, don't you, Zane?
No, it's just like if you saw that in another country, you'd be like, "What is this? And why does it have Nicholas?" Because I know I've heard stories of like famous actors doing ads in Japan.
I can tell you right now, my friend, if I was to see that in Japan and see Nicolas Cage's face on it, I would look at it and I would think, yeah, it's about standard. The man has done so much now that it's, I wouldn't put it past him either. Also, by the way, I wouldn't look at that and immediately go, corn snack.
Yeah. Is it like a little tiny sweet corn, like a corn on a cob or something?
Yeah, I think it's like I think it's one of those corn dogs. You know, corn dogs on like you get in America, like on a stick. I think it's one of those things, but like a Japanese version of it. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? So yes. Anyway, guys, if you're looking for a Nicolas Cage Japanese snack, well then stop, because he hasn't given permission. Yes, well, I'll find some more stuff for Nicolas Cage next week, guys. We'll find some more amazing, interesting stuff. The man has literally, there's no ends to the earth of that fascinating life that he has. Yeah, anyway. So that brings us into tips and bits this week, Zany boy, which I think now you've got a weird theme tune for now, haven't you?
Bits, tips and bits. Come on, everybody, it's tips and bits. There you go.
There you go. What a jingle.
Yeah. Again, I might have to take that audio off you and talk to one of my Twitch friends who can maybe put a backing track on that so that we can have a proper jingle. You know, or if any fans out there are listening and want to take that audio track and let us know and turn it into a musical thing, by all means. Right. So there's been a lot of news basically coming out this week from not from CinemaCon, because we're going to talk about that later, but post CinemaCon. So we're going to group together some stuff. So I'm going to give you the choice here, Zany boy. So we've got DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. Which do you want first, you sexy devil?
Oh, hit me with the Star Wars, because we're so close to it.
Hit you with the Star Wars. Right, okay. So first of all, so this one, we reported a little while ago, Matt Lanter. Matt Lanter is the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars, and he was unwell, unfortunately. He was not doing too good. He had surgery. He's better. He's good. He's on the mend. And so Hayden Christensen has been interviewed recently about Anakin Skywalker, because obviously he's going to be reprising his role as Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan series. And in the interview, Hayden Christensen revealed that the Clone Wars, specifically the Clone Wars and Rebels, were a source of knowledge for him for the Vader character, and gave him, I don't have the direct quote here, but basically gave him amazing insight and preparation into replaying the character by catching up with that series, which is great, because I agree with him, because the Clone Wars and Rebels, especially Rebels, are excellent series, especially at their portrayal of Vader. Yep. So in the perfect throwback to the Clone Wars, Matt Lanter, he's returned to voice Anakin in various kind of medium, and he's basically been asked, "Are you open to returning as Anakin who turned into Vader for other kind of things?" And the quote is as follows. It's a really great question. The masked Darth Vader seems like such a different character to the Anakin that I portrayed in the Clone Wars. Even in the films, James Earl Jones' booming void of emotion character we know as Darth Vader seems very different to me. Would I like to play that version? Possibly. I feel like there's a big undertaking in a lot of ways. It's a different character. And then he goes on to talk about how cool the creative choices made by Dave Filoni are and all this other kind of stuff. It's interesting that now that Anakin is confirmed, Darth Vader is confirmed to be in Obi-Wan, we are now starting to talk about potentially getting more animated series in a between kind of like 3 and 4, more kind of like actual Vader as Vader.
Yeah.
How open are you to seeing more of this period in animated? Do you want to see more of this period in animated, or do you want to move away from it and you don't care? But isn't it nice to see Matt Lanter feeling better and talking about coming back to roles?
Absolutely. As I've said before on this podcast, I think he's a better fit than Hayden Christensen, but that's just my hot take. Don't you go taking that, internet. I know what you're like, because you want to be cool like me. Yeah, I think it's cool that he's happy to come back. Also, I haven't read them, but from what I've heard about the Vader comics, they're supposed to be fantastic. And I've seen a couple of panels where I think it's like his force energy manifests into like an actual being, and it doesn't. The being doesn't have the arms and legs are dark because obviously he has robotic arms and legs. But yeah, it and it has like a massive fight sequence. But yeah, it seems really cool. So if they were to adapt that, I'd be happy to watch that. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think the animated stuff that Filoni has done for Star Wars for Disney, and I think that's been some of the best stuff. I can't sing the praises enough of Rebels. Like, I could. There is I think it's the end of the second season where Darth Maul has manipulated them into finding a Sith holocron, and Vader turns up and it's like this big Sith temple, and Vader turns up and has a fight with Ahsoka. Like, it's that whole sequence is fantastic. I almost swore because it's just so well done, and it rivals anything like emotionally weighting kind of thing. It rivals anything in the actual films as well. Certainly in the prequels anyway, at least. I think it's great. So yeah, I'm all for this as well. I'm with you 100%. Speaking of prequels, speaking of Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, he's been having interviews because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, so he did an interview with Games Radar, weirdly enough, this week. I don't know what it was for. I have no idea why. However, Games Radar just came out and asked him straight up, after this appearance as Obi-Wan, and it's obviously a limited series, so we know that it's not going to go to a second series. How open is he to returning as Obi-Wan again? His direct quote is very revealing and fascinating. You're going to love this, Zane. So, I'm going to quote him verbatim. If we were to get an opportunity to do it again, I'd totally be up to that. Here I go again. It's like me knocking at Disney's door again. It was really nice to come back and to bridge that gap between me and Alec Guinness. I got as much or more out of playing him this time than I did in the first 3 movies put together. Wow. That's to do with the writing and the people we were making the series with, and the technology and how different everything is. So I've been watching an interview recently with so they had it's fascinating. It's on YouTube. If you get the chance to find it, go and find this. But it is a actors interviewing actors over Zoom thing during the pandemic. And it's Hayden Christensen. It's Ewan McGregor interviewing Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
So it's Obi-Wan interviewing the Mandalorian. And the interview is really interesting because they talk about, especially the technology, the fact that when he was doing it, when Ewan McGregor was doing it, it was all green screen, and so you couldn't see anything or anything like that. In the Mandalorian, they've developed the screen backing tech, so that basically they project the entire Tatooine scene onto the backdrop, so that the actors don't have to imagine what's there; it's there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he, McGregor was saying that it was the biggest difference between him doing that and this is that he didn't have to use his imagination for the green screen and stuff. Now it's just there, and it was amazing, and it was really well done. And the fact that he says that he got as much, if not more, from this one experience as opposed to all 3 of the prequel movies, I mean, it sounds like he's well up for doing more. Again, same question as with Matt Lantner. Are you keen for it? Would you love to? I personally am very keen to see McGregor back in as many possible chances as possible.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts, Zane?
Yeah, definitely. He's such a treasure now as well, isn't he? Like he literally is a treasure. And considering this is something that fans have been asking for years, probably since like the animated Clone War series, is more Obi-Wan material. I don't know how much they can do though, because it's such a sort of short window, unless they were to redo Clone War stuff, like mini stories within that. But
I would like to see there's 2 things that I would like to see personally. One is going to be difficult because they'd have to de-age him, but I would love to see him as a Padawan under Qui-Gon.
Wow, yeah.
They've never explored it. Like this, you know what I mean? Like the first time we see McGregor as Obi-Wan is when he's on that trade ship, And like we don't get to see any of his trials of Obi-Wan. We don't get to see anything like that beforehand, or their relationship really Phantom. I would love to see some of that. The other is him raising Anakin. Like there's a gap between 1 and 2 of 10, 15 years, and like I think that could be tapped into, and also there's lots of stuff with him during the war, like the Clone Wars, that we don't really, I mean, there's the series obviously that fills in all those gaps kind of thing, but like there are still things you could do with him,
and I don't think it'd be hard for Disney to de-age him. Like they seem to be using that de-age technology anywhere and everywhere. So
exactly, yeah, precisely, yeah. They'll be doing it on Betty White next. God's
sake.
All right, so that's all the Star Wars news I had this week. Marvel or DC?
Hit me with the Marvel.
Hit you with the Marvel. Okay, Marvel news is hot and fresh. So Tom Hiddleston has revealed this week that Loki season 2 will begin shooting very, very soon, possibly within the space of 2 weeks. Talking to the playlist, God of Mischief himself, Tom Hiddleston, was asked when he'll be working on Loki season 2, and he said, "We're already in it. I mean, we're not filming, but we're in prep. We start in like a couple of weeks. So we're in full steam ahead in terms of a script and a story, and it's really exciting. I can't say too much, but lots of questions will be answered." Hiddleston was also asked on his thoughts of season 1's big cliffhanger ending, admitting that there's lots of material for the upcoming second batch of episodes to delve into. The actor was quoted as saying, "When I finally got there, I thought, okay, there are some unanswered questions here. Yeah, and what happens now?" The actor pondered. It made me not want to stop and just keep going, but I'm sure it was good for everybody's energy level. I'm sure it was good for everybody's energy levels that we did stop. Loki ended up being, this is not a quote now, this is just a follow-on, but Loki ended up being shot in the midst of the pandemic, and it doesn't sound like it was an easy ride for anyone. The end result speaks for itself, of course, with the villain turned anti-hero trapped in a blah, 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 blah. Apparently, it is due to premiere on Disney Plus sometime in 2023.
Okay.
I mean, I'm so excited for Loki season 2. I will say, and I don't want to give too much away for next week when we talk about Moon Knight, but like, I think it's still my favorite Disney Plus series. I do. Moon Knight is giving it a serious run for its money. We won't talk about it here, but like,
sure.
I loved Loki season 1 so much, so much, and I was trying to think about it because I don't know whether I loved Loki season 1 so much because WandaVision I really enjoyed, but it never felt like it gave us what we were looking for. Do you know what I mean by that? Like at the end of it, it was kind of just like right, okay, and that's what happened. Whereas with Loki, I was like, not only did it deliver an incredible new concept as far as the MCU is concerned, but then it also delivered the next big bad. And it was just like, it's just so good. It's so good. I think the only series that's done it close to that is Hawkeye. Like Hawkeye was amazing, and then it had a big bad, and it was quite the big bad. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that, Zane? Sorry.
Yeah, I guess kind of going off what you were saying there, Loki had, and I'm pretty sure Feige said this to begin with, is that it had like game-changing, results on the rest of the MCU, where none of the TV series had that. They've all been like character sort of journeys or growth, or do you know what I mean? Like WandaVision is about Wanda at the end of the day. It's a sort of central story on a breakout character, because let's face it, the movies hadn't really done her justice until the show. I guess this, to an extent, the same could be said about Sam and in the Falcon show. It never, as we've said before in the past, like it didn't feel like it was that monumental in terms of the grander scale, but of course it's more about Sam's journey. So yeah,
I mean, you'd like to forget that as well, because you wrongly predicted that he wouldn't have wings.
Yeah, I did.
And I'm never gonna let you forget it.
I did it for the podcast.
Of course you did, darling. Of course you did. Yeah.
Add that sauce in. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in terms of kind of like the Disney Plus series so far, and I'll leave Moon Knight out of this until our review next week. For me, it's Loki is still the top of the pile for me. Hawkeye is really, really close second, like really close. Then WandaVision, then Captain America and Falcon, and I hated What If. I did not enjoy What If at all.
Yeah,
it had so much potential in it, and the animation style was incredible, but like it just didn't for me. It didn't pop. There was just something missing about it. I will say one thing. It will be very, very interesting. In fact, you and I are going to have to decide how we do. We might have to do 2 episodes this week coming up. I've just realized. Doctor Strange.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about this later in the week. But what I was going to say was it would be very interesting to watch Doctor Strange and then go back and watch What If and watch WandaVision to see if they, because it almost feels like those 2 shows are kind of like they'll be more retroactively looking back on them from Doctor Strange. It seems, if the rumors are true from the trailers that What If Doctor Strange is going to be in it, and then obviously Wanda will be the ramifications after WandaVision. So
I did see a post from Marvel on Instagram, and it was a trailer for Marvel Legends that they've got on Disney Plus, and I think it's kind of like to catch you up or bring you up to speed on Wanda and Doctor Strange. So it kind of like, talks about her role since Age of Ultron and stuff. But yeah, interesting.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll see what's coming in the near future for Loki. I'm very excited. So we've got a bit of double-edged sword news coming up now, Zane. So we've got sad news. We've also got good news.
Okay.
So it has been announced by Deadline and have reported that sad news. John Watts, the director of Spider-Man trilogy, most recently No Way Home, has left the Fantastic Four reboot that he was set to helm. In a joint statement, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and co-president Louis D'Esposito said, "Collaborating with John on the Spider-Man films has been a true pleasure. We were looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring Fantastic Four into the MCU, but understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away. We're optimistic that we will have the opportunity to work together again and at some point down the road." In his own statement addressing the news, Watts added, "Making 3 Spider-Man films was an incredible and life-changing experience for me. I'm eternally grateful to have been part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I can't wait to see the amazing vision for the Fantastic Four brought to life." Now, before you comment on that one, almost immediately after that, Deadline were then reporting that apparently the rumor suggests Watts is set to return to direct Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland and Zendaya. Yesterday, the news broke that Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts has parted ways. The trade notes that Sony and its producers, this is a quote directly from Deadline, Sony and its Spider-Man producers have made it clear that they expect to reunite Watts with Holland and Zendaya to continue the series. Watts hasn't officially dropped out of that franchise, but if it were to happen, it does sound like it would be a bit further down the road. So, first of all, your thoughts on him not doing Fantastic Four? Does that bode ill or good? Wait, I don't know what that was. Does that bode good or bad for the Fantastic Four or reboot? Your thoughts on that one to start with, and we'll break that down.
It's like you said, it's a bittersweet sort of pill, because he is a great director. We know that from his work from the Homecoming trilogy, shall we call it. So it's sad that he's not directing this, because it felt like a safe pair of hands to work on this. But the fan in me really wants Brad Bird to direct this.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. That would be amazing.
For those who are listening and not familiar with Brad Bird, his works have been things. Well, his most famous work, I would say, is probably The Incredibles, Disney's or Pixar's Incredibles.
I would disagree with that. Didn't he do one of the Mission Impossibles?
Yes, Ghost Protocol.
That was it. Yeah.
I
think that's probably the most famous thing he's done. But The Incredibles is you're right, 100%. The Incredibles is why he should direct it. That would be great because he completely understands the Fantastic Four, because that's what that film is.
that is exactly what that film is. It is the Fantastic Four. Also, I don't think there's that many superhero movies that have done like the family dynamic well. If you know what I mean, it's always kind of sacrificed more for the superhero bombastic stuff, where I think he'll have the nice balance.
It is an interesting. I mean, we won't go into it too much on this podcast, but it might be worthwhile covering the topic one day on the show. Talk about the analysis of how superheroes are represented on screen, because it does feel like the overarching narrative of a superhero is to have, as the Joker says, I think in Batman Beyond or something like that. I think he says like, it always helps to have a certain element of tragedy in a superhero's backstory. And it's like there always seems like it does feel like that all the way through. I can't really name, with the exception of maybe Vision, I can't really think of a superhero in modern cinema today, especially in Marvel, who doesn't have some kind of tragic backstory. And whilst the Fantastic Four, the Thing does have obviously the tragic element of being transformed into a rocky monster. They have this horrible, thing happen to them that turns them into the superheroes that they are. But it is still very much a family unity. Like, they haven't suffered a loss. They haven't. Nobody's died in it. And it'll be interesting to see if they do. I wonder if the dynamic will be completely. How bizarre would it be if it turns out that they're actually going to put Spider-Man in the Fantastic Four, and Johnny's the one who dies, and then because obviously Spider-Man's been part of the Fantastic Four, or the Future Foundation or whatever it was called when he was in it. But how weird would that be? But it's an interesting thing, isn't it? I can't think of a. Can you think of one, Zane, of a hero? No. Like I said, apart from Vision, maybe.
No, because even if you go something wacky like Groot's the last of his kind. It's still tragic. You're right. There isn't, in modern MCU, there isn't maybe Sam Wilson. His family's, his parents died, so he inherited the boat. Sort of thing.
Yeah, he's still got all his family. Yeah, that's true. Sam's probably an exception to it. Again, like I said, I think Vision's probably an exception to it, because Vision, I mean original Vision. I'm not talking about White Vision right now, but obviously Vision was just born from the Ultron body kind of thing, and then he doesn't really have any loss. He's just Vision, and he eventually dies. Spoiler alert, guys. I can't think of it, guys. If you know, maybe Black Panther?
Yes.
And I know he loses his dad, but I mean, on the fence with Black Panther on that one, because he hasn't really lost this. Guys, write in and let us know your thoughts, because this is a hot topic that we should discuss. We should try and do this, man. We should do when it's when there's not loads of releases coming out. We should try and have a session of identify an MCU hero that doesn't have a tragic backstory, and go through them every time and just be like, Peter Quill, parents died. Groot, last of his kind. Drax, family died. Gamora, half a planet killed, and she was adopted by Thanos. Jesus, it's hard.
It is hard. It is tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, we should do that one day. All right. So that's all the Marvel news for this week that's not coming out of anything else. So that leaves us with DC. And listen, you know me, Zane. I love to court a bit of controversy on this show. So we're going to kick off this week's session by talking about Aquaman 2, specifically talking about Amber Heard and her involvement in Aquaman 2. Ladies and gentlemen. So... Change.org has a years-old petition that is titled "Remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2." Bearing in mind the current court case that is going on between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which I won't go into on here because we don't want to put sides on the show, but let's just say, personally speaking, I'm not on hers. And anyway, it's hit 2.3 million and it's picking up steam again. The studio is apparently well aware of the existence of the petition, and the Aquaman producer Peter Safran was previously quoted as saying, "I don't think we're ever going to react to it. Honestly, just pure fan pressure."
Right.
Now, two things.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to say that Warner Brothers do specifically react to pure fan pressure because look at the Snyder Cut for a start. Secondly, there's been a lot of actors recently who have been doing a lot of bad things and it's come out quite badly. You know, look at, for example, I don't know, Ezra Miller off the top of my head.
Who?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's a little known actor. I think he's going to be the Flash, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not seems to have had anything really happen to him, apart from he's been let go from Fantastic Beasts. So my question to you, Zane, is if Amber Heard loses this court case battle, which as current time, it's not looking great for her as far as that is concerned. It really isn't. Do you think that will change Warner Brothers' minds, or is Warner Brothers basically becoming the studio of the bad boys and girls, where they just seem to hire actors and actresses who have, let's just say, a bit of a dark edge to them? What are your thoughts?
Wow. What are my thoughts? I would say, I think Aquaman has already stopped filming. Like, I'm pretty sure it is completed. Yeah. So they couldn't really edit her out at this stage, I wouldn't think. I guess it depends on how big her role in the film is. Or else it would be like, you know, a whole set of reshoots and such. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Like, I don't know what Warner Brothers are thinking at this stage. Like, unless they're sitting on the fence to see what is the outcome of the court case in terms of, you know, if they would still do work with her and such. As we've already mentioned on this podcast, like, they were quick to cut ties with Johnny Depp, you know, when things started to get heated up.
Well,
so...
they didn't. It was Disney. Disney cut ties with Johnny. Oh, yeah, they did. No, you're right. Fantastic Beasts. Of course they did. Yeah, which is so weird. It's just this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could. Yeah. Let's not go into the details of that because I'll find it hard to hold my tongue when it comes to that kind of thing. I personally didn't. This is no reflection on her as a person because I'm not the biggest fan of her as a person. I didn't think her performance as Mira in Aquaman has been particularly stellar. I thought you could have literally got any cardboard cutout to replace her and it would have been just as good. You know, she made her appearance. I did find her acting a little bit wooden. I'm not going to lie. You know.
Okay.
I've used this joke before. I'll say it again. She made her first appearance in the scene, and I thought someone threw a chair on screen.
Okay. Don't think I've heard that one before, but okay.
So yes, I'm not a fan of hers as far as being Mira is concerned. There's the common petition and the common replacement that people are trying to line up as Emilia Clarke, because then it would be Khaleesi and Drogo together on screen again. That being said, I love Emilia. I think Emilia Clarke is incredible, and I would love to see her. I would love to see her do it. The only slight thing about Emilia Clarke is her performance as Daenerys is great. I question whether or not she could bring some of the fiery anger without it being reminiscent of Khaleesi from Game of Thrones to Aquaman, because you know Mira's like she is full of rage. So She even becomes a Red Lantern, honorary Red Lantern at one point in the book. So
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, it's during the Blackest Night event. She becomes a Red Lantern. So yeah, interesting times, but I don't think anything's going to happen with Amber Heard. Truthfully, I think Warner Brothers are sticking to their people for some reason, but I don't understand the deal behind it. But it is what it is. Go and sign the petition, guys, if you want to see her replaced. But I'm sure Warner Brothers won't do much about it. So moving on, we're talking about The Flash. Speaking of Ezra Miller, the Flash movie is coming up, and obviously we've got Michael Keaton returning as Batman for the first time in many, many moons. Let's label this story under ridiculous, Zane, because I don't want to see this happen. I don't know if you want to see it happen. However, The Hollywood Reporter had an interview with Michelle Pfeiffer, and somebody asked if she would be open to returning as Catwoman, and this was her exact response: "It would depend upon the context, but yeah, I'd consider it." So, do you want to see Michelle Pfeiffer come back as Catwoman? Because I don't.
Here's the thing, like, she's getting superhero money today for Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
The only, this is going to sound kind of, narrow-minded, but the only time I would probably want to see both of them back together on screen is if it was Batman Beyond.
Yes, I agree with that. I would agree with that. But I don't see... That's the one thing about Batman Beyond. We never know what happened to Selena Kyle. We never see where she is. Like I don't recall in any of the comic books seeing where she is. Barbara Gordon is commissioner now. Bruce is obviously still being Bruce. Dick Grayson's is like, I think he's a police captain in Bloodhaven. I think is what is. Tim Drake is a communications expert who does like technical satellite work, but was traumatized by the Joker, so is not in, he's not in, Cape and Cowl or anything like that anymore. So, but we never hear. It's interesting because like of all they bring back a lot of rogues from Batman's original gallery in Batman Beyond. With Mr. Freeze shows up, Ra's al Ghul shows up at one point. You've got Joker obviously returns in the animated series, and then in like the book form, there's Hush comes into it.
Cool.
So there's lots of like previous rogues that turn up, but there's no mention of Catwoman ever. So yeah, I don't know. The only way that I could see this being potentially interesting is if that version of Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle ended up together somehow.
Interesting.
Like she came back and they ended up together, and it would be an elderly Batman and Catwoman together. That's the only way I could kind of see it interesting. I don't particularly give a monkeys about seeing her come back in any other aspect. So whatever, really. I don't really care. That's my opinion on it. But yeah, I'm getting annoyed by this now though, because it's like it's kind of like, I appreciate the fact that there's a multiverse and there's variants and there's all these different things going on and all these people around, but like, you don't need to ask everyone who's ever been in a you know what I mean? It's like no, I don't want to see Jennifer Garner back as Elektra, thanks. That'll be okay. No, I don't want to see Halle Berry come back as Catwoman, thanks. No, I don't need that in my life right now. That you're all good. Cheers. No, I don't want to see whatever the guy's name who played Blackheart in Ghost Rider come back. No, I'm good. Okay.
Oh, wow, what a callback! Yeah,
exactly. It's ridiculous though. It's like no, just leave it. Leave it, guys. Michael Chiklis is the thing. I'll see him come back. Yes, please. That's good. I'll have him back. All right. The last bit of news I've got for today is unfortunately some sad news, my friend. It has been announced. This is very recent. But it has been announced that the CW have cancelled Batwoman.
Yes.
And now it has come out they have also cancelled DC's Legends of Tomorrow after 7 seasons, and it's ending on a cliffhanger as well.
Really?
Yes. So there will be no 8th season, and it's gone out on a cliffhanger. Obviously, there's been a lot of programming changes at the CW after Discovery purchased Warner Bros. So what this means for the future of Superman and Lois, Stargirl, The Flash, and Gotham Knights, for that matter, all
Mhm.
remains to be seen. I think it's probably a port over to HBO Max is pretty much guaranteed now.
Yeah.
I have watched Legends of Tomorrow up to season 4, and I've really enjoyed it. I thought the introduction of Constantine into it breathed new life into the show.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on Legends of Tomorrow? Sad to see it go, or run its course and it was time?
Yeah, possibly. I think I'm a similar stage as you. I think I stopped watching maybe about season 4. Yeah, it's just I just couldn't stay with it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first season, but it was, I don't know, it got really too cartoonish for me, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
slapstick.
No, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I think that it's interesting because it's the same as the Flash. I left the Flash after season 3, after the Savitar run, and because it became so samey, where it's like somebody did a funny, like they did, I can't remember who it was on YouTube, so I apologize, I haven't got the credit for you guys, I'm sorry, but somebody did a funny video where they did the opening to the Flash, and it said, my name is Barry Allen, I'm the fastest man alive. And they took the intro and then they said, my name's Barry Allen, I'm the fastest man alive, apart from this other guy who runs a lot faster than me that I've got to beat this season. And that's like literally what it became with the Flash. Like every season there was someone faster than him, even though he was the fastest man alive.
Well, that's why they changed it in the 4th season. They had the Thinker.
Yes, I know. So who thought faster than him. I know. That was why I kind of tuned out on it. But I think, a lot of that. For me, the Legends of Tomorrow, one of the best things about the Flash and about Legends of Tomorrow was Wentworth Miller's performance as Captain Cold. He was great as Captain Cold. Like, he was really good and really... He drew you into the show. And when he left, I was kind of just like, oh, it's not as good now. It's really not as good. And then it just never picked up steam since then. I thought Katie Lotz is excellent, and she's excellent in everything she's in. But yeah, I think it's time. It's a shame it went out on a cliffhanger, but I think it's time.
Yeah. What was the name of the actor who played half of Heatwave?
Half of Heatwave?
Is it Heatwave?
It is Heatwave. Heatwave is the heat gun guy to Captain Cold.
No, I'm thinking of
Firestorm. Yeah, Victor Garber.
Who's also in the Titanic.
He's also in Alias as well. If you've ever seen Alias, the Jennifer Garner spy show. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen Alias, go and watch Alias. It's really good. It was J.J. Abrams.
Do you think that's aged well?
Yeah, maybe I watched it like 5 years ago now, but it was J.J. Abrams' first TV series.
Yeah.
It's very good, and Jennifer Garner's extremely attractive. I mean, Jennifer Garner's really good in it. See, you've got a thing for Ben Affleck. I've got a thing for Jennifer Garner. It's weird, isn't it?
That's why Daredevil is the perfect movie for this podcast.
Don't ever say that to me again.
Okay, fine. Daredevil, the director's cut.
And we can both agree that we both love Colin Farrell as Bullseye. But there you go. Yes. Anyway, so sad news for the cancellation of those shows, but it's never nice when shows. By the way, Netflix, you suck. You cancelled Archive 81. I hate you. I hate you for cancelling Archive 81. That first series was amazing, and it deserved a second season. I almost swore. Oh. Anyway, I'm opening a can. Sorry, guys, you're gonna hear a clack. There you go. Really annoyed me, Zane. If you haven't seen Archive 81 as well, watch Archive 81. It's really good. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about CinemaCon.
After that outburst.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about CinemaCon. Now, again, for those who aren't familiar, this is an event that's held every year, I believe in LA, where all the movie studios come together and all the guests are theatre owners or cinema owners. So all the brands and such, as you know, so for example, here in the UK, Cineworld, View and such,
AMC in the States.
Yeah, so they'll sit in on this convention, and essentially the studios will tell the theater owners their lineup of movies and what they believe are going to be the hits and what to expect in the near future. So what we're going to do is run through the list of all the big takes that came out of this event, and we're going to start things off with a studio that has been groundbreaking this year with its movies, and
this is making me nervous.
they've announced even more groundbreaking movies. So the studio in question is Sony.
Oh God.
And
God, Zane.
Riding high of Spider-Man and the Marvel legend Morbius.
I knew you were going to say it.
They have announced that rapper, singer-songwriter, wrestler Bad Bunny will be joining the extended universe of Marvel as El Muerto. Sorry if I butcher that pronunciation. They also announced that Venom will be returning for a third movie.
I mean, how do they continue to get these things so wrong, Zane? I look, guys, if you wanna talk to the Undisputed Nerds about us being snobs about Sony films and that kind of thing, I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. We love Into the Spider-Verse. We adore that film. That's an amazing film. Sony knocked it out of the park with that. My biggest problem with Sony right now is that apart from they're making god-awful films, is the fact that they're not even using characters that we want to see. Like, okay, Venom, sure, fine. I'll see a Venom movie, no problem whatsoever. The last one was better than the first one. That's not saying much, but it was better than the first one. And it had a wonderful post-credit sting, and it had a wonderful villain in Woody Harrelson, because Woody Harrelson's amazing. Fine. Venom 3, good. Okay, cool. No worries. Maybe they'll even talk about the fact that he was in the Spider-Verse for 5 seconds. Probably not, because it's Sony, but who knows? Or he'll have brought back all the Stark tech from that one experience in a bar, apparently. Read between the lines on that one, Morbius. But was it El Muerto?
Yes.
Zane, right?
Yeah.
This is a studio that has access to Spider-Woman.
Yes.
This is a studio that has access to Miles Morales' Spider-Man.
Yep.
This is a studio that even has access to some other characters, like, for example, Prowler.
Yeah.
But what do they decide to go with? What are the two upcoming new superhero movies, Zane? It's Kraven the Hunter and El Muerto, because it's the ones we want to see, apparently. What are they doing? Are you excited for this?
I think it's worth mentioning as well, for those who are wondering why are we talking about this character, should we be excited about it? No, not really, because this character has had probably 1 or 2 appearances, I believe, in comic books. Like, their character, the thing to know about this character is that they are a lucha wrestler, and I believe they attacked Spider-Man once, which is why Sony owns the character. Have you done some Googling?
This is amazing, right? So I typed in El Muerto, okay, right?
Yeah.
So bearing in mind, they're making a film of this, Zane. They're making a Spider-Man, rip-off El Muerto. The top result that comes up when I type into Google El Muerto is El Muerto, the Aztec zombie El Muerto, the 2007 film played by Vilma Valderrama.
Oh.
It's a fictional character and a comic book. Oh, it is a comic book. Wait, is this the guy? Oh my God, is this the guy? No.
Have you got a picture?
It is. It is this guy. Oh, Google, I apologize. You've done a blinder. Oh my God. Zane. This is incredible. Hold on. Hold on. I've only got a tiny picture, so I apologize. I can't get much bigger than this. Right, guys. For those of you who are listening, go onto Google and type in El Muerto. That's Muerto. And this is the result that you'll get.
Wow, it was a movie.
El Muerto, the dead one. On the day of the dead, the chosen will rise. I'm more interested in seeing that movie than I am seeing anything Sony's going to make. There you go. Well, I take it all back. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Thank you, Sony, for saving cinema. Right. Anything else from Sony? That hot pile of garbage that they are?
Wow. They did show a extended clip of Bullet Train starring Brad Pitt.
Okay, that I'm excited for. That one I am actually excited for.
They also announced a historical action epic starring Viola Davis. Is it Davis? Davis?
Viola Davis?
Yes.
Yes.
In a movie called The Woman King.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That'll be interesting. Good. Still watching Peacemaker, by the way. About halfway through.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Amanda Waller.
I was surprised she makes a cameo in that.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, so thanks for ruining that.
It's in the first episode on the iPad.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not much of a cameo, but...
Okay. No, I just got to the big reveal about one of the team in like episode 4 or 5, I think it is. Can't remember.
Okay.
But, yeah.
By the way, we're getting questions about what does the Spider-Man villain looks like. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, here's a picture of said character in question.
Yeah. Basically, rip off of Bane. That's essentially what he is.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, anyway, let's get off Sony. I don't want to talk about Sony anymore. God, terrible. What else happened, Zane?
So Disney made some announcements. A lot of reports are saying Disney was kind of underwhelming because, of course, Disney like to save it for their what's it called? Investors Day and Disney Expos.
Yeah, and also May the 4th is right around the corner.
As well as, yeah. So apparently people who attended were treated to I believe a 20-minute, 20-minute screening of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which sounds amazing.
It's right. Let's just pause for 1 second. Sounds amazing. However, haven't they given away enough of this movie already with the trailers? They're doing a Sony. Just dial it down a bit, Marvel. Like, you don't need to show everything in the trailers. People are excited enough for this film already. You really don't need to go there.
Don't need to ham it up anymore.
No.
They also got to see more of the Toy Story spin-off Lightyear. Yes.
Yeah, didn't they do the entire... Forgive me, you might be coming onto this, and I might be running before I'm walking.
No, go ahead.
Didn't they do the entire 2022 to 2023 slate? Did they show that?
I believe you're right, yeah.
Because I know that Lightyear is imminent, isn't it? That sounds like a weird countdown. Lightyear is imminent. But yeah, pretty much that I'm really excited for, actually. Like a grown-up, but a grown-up version of Toy Story almost. It's like, that's going to be great, man.
I wonder as well, like, how far they're going to go with this franchise. Like, if they do Lightyear, would we then see like Woody's Roundup, but set in a Western environment?
I hope not. I hope they just I don't know how well that would work if they were to do that. I guess it could work. I don't know actually. That's a really good question, Zane. That is a really good question. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how successful Lightyear is. I'd love to see a Rex spin-off where we see the early adventures of Rex, the Tyrannosaurus, in his native environment. Or Slinky, the slink dog.
Yeah, I wonder what Bo Peep's movie would be about.
She's off the chain. She's gonna go on a massive bender, and like, you know, it's gonna be a cocaine fueled bender that like really get into the adult version of Toy Story.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff on this lineup. So for those of you, let's do you want me to read through what's coming out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those of you, so coming up within this year, guys, on the Disney slate, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the Bob's Burgers movie, which I didn't even realize was a Disney property. Like, I didn't even know they were part of Disney. We've got Lightyear. That's obviously, as we were just talking about, the Toy Story ripoff. We've got Thor: Love and Thunder. Cannot wait for that. Looking forward to it. I can never pronounce this. The Banshees of Inisherin, I think is how you say it. I don't know what that's about. You've got Yawn, the next Avatar movie. Don't care. It's been revealed this week, by the way. That's called The Life of Water or something like that. Yeah, the flow of water. I can't remember, something about water. Who cares? Cameron, Jesus. You've got 20th Century Fox's, I think it was a runoff, from 20th Century Films, Amsterdam. You've got Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Again, excited for that. You've got a film called The Menu. You've got Disney Strange World. You've got the other Avatar. Oh God, just lay off Avatar. I'm done with you. You've got The Haunted Mansion. You've got The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Little Mermaid, live action Little Mermaid, Quantum Mania, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then you've got Indiana Jones 5 rounding it off. So that is the full slate for this year. That's a year. It's a lot to fit in for a year.
Yeah, it's between now and 2023, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. A year.
a full calendar year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about any of the Avatar movies. You know my opinion on them, but everything else I'm reasonably excited for.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, was that all that Disney kind of announced? Was it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. From there, Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers, of course, announced the Batman 2.
The only bit of news I'm excited for coming out of the Warner Brothers. Yes. I mean, it was. I think it was pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point, wasn't it? After the Batman 2 made a boatload of money. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm slightly nervous that they go with Joker. I really hope they don't. Especially after Barry. We won't go into it, but Barry Keoghan has just got himself in a bit of trouble. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, he was. He got very drunk and disorderly, apparently, and got himself arrested. So,
ouch.
Yes, he's been a bit of a bad boy. But apparently, Warner Brothers freaking love bad boys, Zane. So, I'm sure he'll be fine. But yeah, I don't really want to see that Joker. I don't have any interest in that Joker.
Apparently, there's been a lot of like tweets and stuff for a Mr. Freeze. A lot of people have been asking for a Mr. Freeze, and they want. I can't remember his first name. Is it Bill, who played as Walter White in Breaking Bad?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, yeah.
I guess it depends what version of Freeze they're going for. If it's an origin of Freeze, then they need someone a bit younger, because Victor Freeze was quite a young man when he gets turned into, Mr. Freeze. I think Mr. Freeze is a really tricky one, right? Because you've grounded Batman in a reality that he is in now with the Riddler and that side of things, and whether Mr. Freeze will fit in that reality or not, I don't know. It's another question. I would imagine they'd have to lose the aspect of his genetics making him super cold. I would imagine it'll be more about his like technology is like cold powered, and that's why he's just got this identity of Freeze. Sure. I still personally want to see the Mad Hatter as the bad guy. I think that they could do a lot more with it. There's a lot more to say in that universe about, especially after we've just seen the Riddler influencing people on a message board. There's a lot more that they could play with in terms of messing with people's minds and actually controlling them, and what they could do with the technology and social media of they could, Hatter could be manipulating them through the social media aspect instead of it be, I'm not saying that's what they should go with. I'm just saying, like, there are lots of ideas that you could work around with Mad Hatter, and they've never done him on screen, so I think it's probably I think it's about time that they give Tetch some justice. But no, I'm super excited, and also really excited that Pattinson's coming back. Really happy about that. Very, very happy. Hopefully he'll get a haircut.
Well, funny enough, I'll tell you who's had a haircut. Margot Robbie has had a haircut for
yes, she has.
Barbie movie.
Yep.
Which they revealed the poster for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet showed his singing in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's prequel, Wonka. I had no idea this was going to be like a prequel.
Yeah. Dark, edgy. How did he murder all those children before he set up the factory?
Capturing Oompa Loompas all around the world.
Absolutely. Slave encampments all around the world for Oompa Loompas. Yeah. It's Wonka goes dark. That's the future of this franchise. And I can't wait. This is why they're hiring all the bad boys, because they want it to brace for the really shocking truth behind Wonka.
Well, some DC stuff was also revealed.
How funny would it be if in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka just like he's showing Charlie around after Charlie's inherited the factory, and he's just like, so here we have the chocolate lake, here we have the golden goose, down here is the Oompa Loompa slave pens. I'm sorry, what?
That'd be like something from Rick and Morty, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah. The secret of chocolate making in the future, where chocolate is outlawed and people are murdered for it. I'm sorry, what?
So yeah, apparently some footage was shown of The Flash, Black Adam, Legends of Super Pets, and Shazam, as well as Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Why did you laugh at Legends of Super Pets?
Because it's a comedy, a family comedy. That's why.
Okay, yeah. Right. So this is the point during the show where I have to muster up enough interest to pretend that I'm interested in anything DC is doing film-wise. Oh, cool!
Apparently, the audience reaction was great when Michael Keaton appeared on screen.
What? Oh, was it? Oh, what? People went booing? What a surprise! I mean, honestly, what do you expect the reaction to be? What? Seriously, Zane? Like, honestly, what are people going to go? Who the hell is that? Why is Birdman on screen?
Wasn't he in Morbius?
Exactly. Oh, let's not talk about that after credits thing in Morbius again. Yeah. I can't deal with it.
But the sad thing is, apparently Warner Brothers' presentation was the one that stood head and shoulders above everyone else's. But it was overshadowed. I don't know if you saw this.
Fandom's looking ropey this year, isn't it?
Sadly, it was overshadowed by Olivia Wilde's presentation, because she was there to hype up the film that she had directed called Don't Worry, Darling, starring Florence Pugh and Harry Styles.
Yeah.
But she was handed some documents regarding her court case. At that moment, she had been, I think it's subpoenaed or whatever.
Oh my God. They served her papers as she was doing the thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh God, that is bad. Wow.
Because she's in a custody battle for her children, essentially.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Wow, that's... Man, they got her right before then. That's really bad. Because basically it's a summons. They have to be given that piece of paper by hand. And obviously it's hard to get sometimes to celebrities because they don't get let into places. And you're not officially, unless the papers have officially been handed to the individual
and accepted.
It doesn't count. Man, so they got her right when she was going on. That's wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is
crazy.
wild. Who was oh god, is it with the ex-husband, the guy who was on Saturday Night Live?
Plays as Ted Lasso?
Yes, him. Okay. Is
Yeah.
that who she's in the dispute with, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rough. I didn't realize that one of the guys off of Saturday Night Live is the one who's married to Scarlett Johansson now as well.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I can't remember I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, one of the guys where I was just like, oh, okay, interesting. You've been married to Ryan Reynolds, and now you're married to him. Okay. She appreciates humor, which is what I like. So there we go. There you go. There's always a chance.
Do you want to hear what's going on at Universal?
I mean, I don't care, but I'll hear about it. Sure.
There's this line which was from Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair. Ooh la la.
The dark.
That's what the is
about. So, of course, they announced there's going to be a Minions movie because, of course, there is called The Rise of Gru. But Universal may not have superhero movies in its arsenal, was the line. But the studio is making a convincing offering something for everyone in returning old and new casts in Jurassic World Domination.
Jesus Christ.
Or Dominion. Is it Dominion or Domination? Must be Dominion, right? Who cares? It's another Jurassic Park.
Oh God. I mean, I look, I love Jurassic Park. In fact, Jurassic Park is actually part of the reason why I'm trying to lose weight at the moment, because I'm playing Jurassic Park World, which is basically Pokemon Go but with dinosaurs.
Oh,
so
wow.
I love Jurassic Park. It's fantastic. However, I will say The Lost Kingdom was not great.
No.
Really not great. And you know, I'm finding it. I'm really intrigued to see what they do with the original Jurassic Park cast.
Yeah.
In this new one, but I'm also at the point where I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. Jurassic World was really interesting because Jurassic World was like, oh, this is what it looks like when it's actually running. Like they've actually managed to do a dinosaur theme park, and that's what it looks like. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. Although I hated the way they exploit the baby dinosaurs and the kids will riding their backs. That really annoyed me. I was like, get those kids off those dinosaurs, you little sh. But that being said, it was a fascinating concept, and I really liked it. And it was like, oh, this is what happens when it goes wrong. That's cool. You know, like we've seen what the park is like when it's not open and it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Lost Kingdom just kind of like it. The fact they put Lost in the title was great because it really lost its way, and it just felt really horrible. It just wasn't a good film. So I don't know what they're going to do with Dominion, or is it Dominion or Domination? Dominion.
I think it is Dominion. Yeah, I think it is Dominion.
Yeah, you just said Domination for some reason.
I'm thinking of New Japan.
Honestly, what are you thinking of? Affairs, Domination? What's going on here, Zane? He's been all over, guys. But no, it's yeah, it looks good. I've just literally looked up that thing about the Olivia Wilde papers on stage. That is horrible. She opened them on stage. I didn't realize she opened them on. That's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Yeah, I don't really care about Dominion, to be honest with you. I'd be nice to see Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. But the last time he was supposed to be in it, he was in it for like 5 minutes, and that was it. And he had a beard, and I was like, oh, he probably got paid $5 million. Yeah, he probably got paid $5 million for that. That's great. That's depressing.
Yeah.
To just go, hey, he's dinosaur. That's Jeff Goldblum.
Classic Jeff.
And then plays the piano in the courtroom.
There's going to be a new Puss in Boots movie, which is a sequel. Don't know how to tee that up. There's going to be a new Puss in Boots movie.
Thanks for dropping that one in there. I wasn't expecting that. Cool. Great.
Cool.
That's what we all wanted to hear.
Yeah. We all wanted to hear Antonio Banderas getting paid again.
What is that? Wait, is that the literal soundtrack they put on the Puss in Boots movie? It's just Puss standing there, and then you just hear Antonio Banderas being handed dollar bills one at a time until they get to like 20 million.
What are you talking about? It's crypto now. They probably paid him in crypto. Yeah.
It's the quickest movie ever. 3 seconds. Anyway. Oh, God. Thank you for
that. Jordan Peele's Nope was mentioned.
Didn't he reveal what it's actually about?
Yeah, I think it just says that he revealed, and they kind of said that this will be a sure thing to kind of bet on. And they saw some smaller risks, which include a hilarious, raunchy film called Bros and Idris Elba's terrifying thriller Beast.
I am laughing at the way that you said that, not at the write-up for what it is. It was just very terrifying thriller Beast. You sexy devil, you. Yes. Well, let's unpack some of that. Are you excited about Nope?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. The trailer looks wild. I assume it's about alien abduction and the ramifications of that, and like a horror like story around it.
Yeah.
But he always does weird twisty things in his films now, doesn't he? So
that's true.
I mean, Get Out was Get Out is still his best movie. And that was obviously an absolutely wild twist. I won't ruin any of the twists, by the way, guys, but that was obviously a really wild twist in that. And then Us was kind of it was an all right twist. It wasn't amazing or anything like that. So I assume Nope will have the same kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. And a twist on the alien invasion. I'm kind of he's becoming a bit like Shyamalan, which is worrying me. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. People seem to be going into his movies expecting twists now. You know what I mean? Like it's like, when are we going to see the Shyamalan twist? Come on, M. Night, give it to us, baby. That was the twist. That was terrible. It's that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it though.
I'm a little bit excited for it. Like you said, I think the problem is Us. I was left a little bit unsatisfied, so I'm kind of like,
between you and I was tired that night, Zane. You know I was. I'm sorry. I've apologized many times to you.
Brilliant.
That's what I said at the time as well.
But the film, I was just kind of like, that's a shame. As I really enjoyed Get Out. So yeah, I hope this one kind of is. Yeah, I hope this one is as good as Get Out.
Yes.
Do you want to speak about Paramount?
Paramount?
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't Paramount? It's weird because Paramount used to do Indiana Jones, didn't they?
They did.
Which is weird. I don't know how that kind of. I guess because it was Lucas. Was it Lucasfilm? When Lucasfilm was sold, they got Indiana Jones as well.
That's a point. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how they, because I remember the iconography of like, was it Raiders where like the Paramount logo with the mountain starts, and then it's the exact mountain in that transitions into the opening scene of Indiana Jones, and I always remember being an amazing shot, and I'm just like, why are Paramount not responsible for Indiana Jones anymore? But I assume it's because of the Lucasfilm purchase.
Or do you think Fox bought it when for Skull Kingdom?
I don't know.
It feels like a very Fox movie. No, I think about it.
I mean, yeah, it could. Yeah, you're probably right. Go on. Talk about Paramount. What's coming up at Paramount? Is there an Incredible Hulk film coming out?
Sadly not, but there's a lot of Tom Cruise, so get ready.
Yeah, I'm strapping in.
There is a presentation to screen Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, sorry, that was meant to be doing by Tom Cruise.
Early footage from 2023's Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Sorry, can we just rewind a little bit? Sorry, that Top Gun, the new Top Gun film, does it have a volleyball scene in it?
I think there is in the trailer. They're on the beach.
Then the film's saved. We're fine. Move on.
Transformers.
Miles Teller with
Early
his pants.
footage.
Sorry. Transformers. Oh, is it directed by Michael Bay?
He's back.
Then I don't care. Wait, is he seriously doing another one?
I think they mentioned Michael Bay in the article.
Get the F out of here, Zane. He's not doing another one, is he?
But they also said that it has the G1 models, which is kind of like
from
the
New Japan. What are you talking about?
which is the older sort of Transformer models, like from the 80s cartoon,
like proper
a bit like
Optimus.
Yeah, a bit like the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah, I was going to say,
isn't that Volkswagen and such?
It is the follow-on from Bumblebee, isn't it? I think that film is it supposed to be like a follow-on on that? Because Bumblebee was supposed to be a prequel, which is now getting even more confusing.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the transform. It's going to be the old school transform.
Quite possibly. It's not directed by Bay, but he's producer. He's a producer on it.
Great. Cool.
So he's paying for all the explosions.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the explosions and weird points of slow-mo that don't need to be in there. Cool. Sounds great.
There's going to be a Dungeons and Dragons movie. Interesting.
Yeah.
And
sorry, that's going to sound bad. Don't get me wrong, I like Dungeons and Dragons. I've just never got into it myself, but it is insanely popular. So I can understand why they're trying to cash in. Stranger Things has got a lot to answer for.
Yeah, and what's the name of that Twitch group?
Dungeons and
famous
Dragons.
voice. No, there's a one with all the famous voice actors. Critical Role.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yes, there was. Jeremy Irons in it.
In 2000, yeah.
Yeah.
And Marlon Wayne.
He said he really. Jeremy Irons, I remember as quoting as saying, "I really enjoyed doing that film, but I did it for the money." That is, you can find an interview with him where he talks about it. That is literally his whole motivation for it. Doesn't it look fantastic? Look at that. Oh, yes. That's obviously the awkward sex scene from the film. For those of you who are not seeing what we're seeing at the moment, Zane is going through the Google images when you type in Dungeons and Dragons, and let's just say there's some intriguing imagery on there.
Oh dear.
This looks great. It's great for a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
He looks like that guy looks like the one who plays Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I can't remember what the actor's name is. He's the guy who gets killed by the Terminator in Terminator 1, where he just goes, laundry day, nothing clean, right? That guy. Can't remember what that guy's name is. He's in the X-Files as well, I think.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it weird how you get those actors where it's like, I have no idea what his name is, but if you show me his face, I'll be like, it's that guy from The Thing. He's in loads of things. You know, the thing
He's
with
in everything.
Thing? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's like weird recollections of things.
That movie is supposed to be coming out March 2nd, 2023. Starring Chris Pine. And Transformers. Yeah, and Transformers is coming out June 9th, 2023. I know, put it in your diaries.
Slate that up with the Barbie movie as far as my interest is concerned with Transformers at the moment.
But the last one...
Is John Cena coming back for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But the big one is Mission Impossible, and they revealed the title. Get ready.
Go on.
Well, the title is Dead Reckoning Part 1.
I was going to say, they did 7 and 8 back to back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Of all the things that Paramount do, and all the things that Tom Cruise do, I really enjoy Mission Impossible. I really, really do. I thought Fallout was fantastic. How much of it was fantastic because of Henry Cavill, I don't know, but it was fantastic. And the fact that Hayley Atwell is in 7 and 8 makes me even more into this.
I had no idea.
That's why she's been getting into crazy shape, because she's in 7 and 8, and obviously the rumors of her being Captain Britain in Marvel. But like, she's been doing like loads of like combat training and stuff like that for Mission Impossible, because she's going to be in 7 and 8. So yeah, I'm genuinely really excited for this. I like it. Since the addition of Simon Pegg,
yeah,
the series has just like skyrocketed. It's been great, and it's got a good identity in that regard. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise, like personally speaking, you know, he does a great job of Mission Impossible, you know, and it gives him a chance to yell at people on set as well, which is, you know, he loves it. We're saving Hollywood. They're waiting on us right now, and you guys are messing around with your COVID masks.
You won't have to wait much longer, because it'll be July 14th, 2023.
Yes, that's when Tom Cruise is going to save Hollywood.
Like he hasn't done already with Maverick.
Yeah, you're right about that. You are right about that. When you say Maverick, I think of the Mel Gibson Casino movie from like 1994, and I don't think of Top Gun Maverick, which is what you're talking about, I think.
Lionsgate also, this is the last one, by the way. Lionsgate gave us some news as well, of course. So, of course, their darling Keanu Reeves gets to play John Wick in John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'm excited for that, because it's him against the Continental now, isn't it? Spoilers for John Wick 3. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Like every assassin coming after him now, instead of him, you know, trying to find the people who killed his dog.
Yes.
I like the John Wick series a lot. I think it's great. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the John Wick films have started to do the thing that we kind of all want Keanu Reeves to do, which is just lean into him being a badass. Yeah, and it's fun. Just like watching
pays off.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's really, I don't know what it is. There's something really satisfying about it as well. I think it's quite, obviously there's a lot of headshots as well. So if you're like one of those people who just loves watching headshots on Call of Duty, it is one of those.
He's an action hero star. Like he is, you know, like Speed, Matrix, like he's done Johnny Mnemonic. He's done some great action films. And but like, we just want to see him kick ass. Like, that's all there is to it. And like kick ass in a cool way. And he is really cool. So yeah, you know.
Talking of kicking ass in a cool way,
segue.
Sylvester, I assume Sylvester Stallone is back, because they announced
Demolition Man 2?
Oh no, I wish.
I wish too. I can't. I really want Demolition Man 2. Demolition Man Junior.
There will be another Expendables movie.
I don't care. I
had a feeling you might say that.
You know, they missed the boat when they didn't have Harrison Ford saying "Get off my plane" in the last Expendables film. So I just don't care.
One thing you may care for, because we know how you like to salt and pepper a bit of game news.
Wow, you are segueing all over the shop this evening.
Here we go. I'm in a flow now. Borderlands. The video game franchise will be getting a movie.
Yeah, it's getting a movie. Yeah, I did hear about that. Haven't they announced a cast member for it as well? Isn't like Tilda Swinton or somebody signed up for it? I heard some random bit of casting. That's not confirmed, by the way, guys. But yeah, I heard that somebody's been cast for it already, or the rumors of them being cast. Borderlands is difficult because, realistically speaking, there was only. Okay, so arguably speaking and uncontroversially speaking, the only universally loved Borderlands game is the second one. Like, Borderlands 2 is the one where everyone's like, this game was brilliant and the storyline was brilliant and everything was really good about it. 1 is fine. Pre-sequel's not great. 3, I really enjoyed 3, and I really enjoyed the story for 3. However, I've heard a lot of people tell me that they thought the storyline for 3 was terrible. So it's kind of like, if they do it based around the story of 2, which I would imagine they would, because Handsome Jack is one of the best baddies in modern video game medium, then yeah, it could be really good. it will remain to be seen as far as computer game films are concerned. You know, they're very hit and miss.
Yeah, I wonder if like there's been rumors for years that was going to be the next sort of franchise Hollywood would try and do something with, the same way, you know, it took years of the comic book movies to actually hit the stride. Apparently video game movies were the next one, and I guess studios are looking at the success of Sonic. Like Sonic seems to be the exception.
Yeah, but Sonic is a very universally loved character as far as like kids and families are like, you know what I mean? It's like you can do that. I think probably the thing, I don't see video game movies being successful. I see video game series being very successful. I think the Last of Us TV series will be very successful. Yeah, Pedro Pascal, I think that will be extremely successful and good. And the reason why I think it will be TV series rather than movies is that episodically speaking, it's a lot easier to tell a computer game story episodically. Sure. And also it's easier to get series commissioned for sequels as it would be than to do a large, big budget movie kind of thing. So,
yeah.
I don't know, you know. Sometimes video games sacrifice story at the expense of action, and vice versa. So it depends. I'd quite like to see a Gears of War film or series. Like I think that could translate very well.
I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan.
Oh, yeah,
and I really want to see what the Oscar Isaac version of that is going to be like. Yes. I'm kind of hesitant because, you know, there's so much material there to try and get into a movie. So, but yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do there.
Yeah, I wonder how they would do that actually, because technically Metal Gear Solid is not the first Metal Gear. So how do they really go about it? Would they do Big Boss, do you reckon? Like the you know, the origins of Snake? Like that's an interesting...
It'd be used as a twist, though, wouldn't it? Because, like, you know, spoilers for Metal Gear Solid, him and Liquid Snake, it would have to, I'm sure it would be the Liquid Snake storyline, and then plot twist, they turn out to be twins of a clone.
Yeah. Is it twins of a clone, or is it, like, clone children?
Clone children, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's the Les Enfants Terribles, like, program, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I know my Metal Gear, my friend. The question is, did they include Solidus in it as well?
Well, it depends.
Did you not know you did not know my depth of Metal Gear knowledge? Is this what are you shocked at?
That and the pronunciation as well. Like,
well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Talking of surprises, Lionsgate managed to generate a buzz about the Hunger Games. Remember those? And they announced.
Hang on, is that the Gordon Ramsay show that is coming to NBC? I think it is, isn't it? Right?
Sadly, not. No. But they managed to announce that there will be a prequel called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which opens in theaters around Thanksgiving 2023.
Woohoo! Great. Is Jennifer Lawrence coming back for it?
I don't know. Is the honest answer?
Is the answer? Yeah, correct. That's right, Zane. Who cares? You're right about that. Yeah, nobody gives a monkeys about the Hunger Games anymore. It's done. Isn't it amazing? It's like those fads like Hunger Games and Twilight and those kind of things, like such flash in the pans, and then they're just like, nope, who gives a monkeys anymore? They're done. Just go, be gone. You know, I don't care. I mean, Hunger Games is fine. Don't get me wrong, and I love Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's great, but like,
yeah,
you know, I did love that thing. Did you see that thing on Colbert where she was like interviewed, and because she's been away from movies for like 3 or 4 years. And Colbert, they sat down, and she was obviously pregnant. And they sat down, and she's done a couple of movies, I think, like this last year. Right. Colbert said, "So you've not been in movies for a couple of years. You've had a break. What have you been doing, like for the last couple of years?" And she just looked down at her stomach and just said, "Just having a lot of sex." It's like, I love you, Jennifer Lawrence. That's fantastic.
There's I feel like there's a weird sort of period like before sort of Hunger Games, as in like her interview style. Because like I swear, like before Hunger Games, like back when she was doing say X-Men First Class, she used to say like anything. Like she'd be at the Oscars and be like, "I'm really hungry. I fancy some chips." Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
like really sort of down to earth. And then like it feels like after the sort of Hunger Games and X-Men movies, she became like.
I think it was after she won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I think that's it from what I can gather, it changes her career and then puts you in another echelon of earners and stuff like that. So it does change your professionalism. She was also with Nicholas Hoult at that time as well, and Nicholas Hoult is apparently absolutely mental. So that could have been part of the reason why. So in a good way, in a great way. Like you hear the stories from like the X-Men sets from when him and James McAvoy would just torment the other cast members by like shooting them with BB guns and stuff like that. It sounds absolutely insane. So monsters they are.
Well, that's everything from CinemaCon. If I've missed anything out, let us know in the comment section down below. Are you excited for any of these movies that were announced? I know I'm excited for Transformers.
Oh, God. I can't wait for El Muerto.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the one we're waiting for? I will say this: at least Sony are giving. Sony are the gift that keeps on giving on this podcast. Having said that, because last year we had the incredible spectacle that was Venom: Let There Be Rubbish, and this year we've had the unbelievable fabulousness of Matt Smith's tour de force Morbius. So I can't wait for. Why this is the reason we do this Kraven the Hunter next year, and then whoever his name is, Zombie Dead Boy the year after. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
It's going to be. They're building.
Thanks, Sony. Thanks.
Can you imagine like a massive Sinister Six team up movie where they all team up together?
Don't tease me. Don't tease me with that good time, Zane. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And they're all using MCU tech somehow.
Don't you worry about it.
Because, comics. Zane, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Zane at Zane_Tai-Cho. How about yourself? You on the socials?
Yeah, I'm on the socials. Yeah, I'm hip to the fly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not TikTok or Twitter or Facebook, none of that. But I am on Instagram. Find me on Instagram at Gentleman the Gamer. Feel free to DM me. I'm also on Twitch twitch.tv/Gentleman the Gamer. I'm just doing it occasionally at the moment, guys, but catch my schedule. I'm normally doing it every Monday. Still going through Resident Evil at the moment, driving me. Resident Evil 0, it's the worst. It's the worst Resident Evil. It's terrible. I forgot how bad it was, and I'm finding out how bad it is. But I might going to be doing more Sea of Thieves. I think I said it last week. Cool. I am going to be doing more of that because I'm just enjoying it too much at the moment. And yeah, that's me. So come grab me, guys. And obviously, what's our mailing list, Zane?
You can drop us an email. nerdsundisputed@gmail.com. Of course, all the links will be in the description down below. I don't know why I really struggle with that.
I don't know why either. I don't know why either. Should we? So do you want to talk about what we're doing next week?
Next week, well, I guess we'll be talking about Multiverse of Madness without a doubt.
Yes.
And I will be appearing on another podcast.
We will. We're doing another we're doing our first ever joint show with somebody else. It's a weird thing. Say joint show, we're appearing on someone else's. But the CU show, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So we'll be making an appearance on the show. Of course, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, where you'll find out more information about not only the show, but the topic we'll be covering. I believe we'll be talking about Moon Knight. But either way, check it out. It's going to be fun. And they're a great podcast. It's exciting.
Awesome people. And yeah, I think we'll try. We'll probably do it's on a Wednesday though, isn't it? Or Thursday is Doctor Strange?
I believe it's Thursday. We're going to see it.
We could try and do an after show review. It's on a school night. Anyway, we'll work it out. Watch this space, guys. Keep in the know, and you'll definitely be getting some info from us on Doctor Strange and Moon Knight next week. And yeah,
you can make sure by doing so by subscribing and ringing that notification bell.
Yes, or
there you go.
However you want to get in touch with us or follow us on your podcasting platforms. Right, let's get out of here, Zane. Saturday night. Let's go do something. Woohoo! Cool. You and I. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Ciao.